Morning, Dave here from Quality Yorkshire Homes. We specialise in buying, building, refurbing and reletting Quality Yorkshire Homes to Quality Yorkshire people here in sunny West Yorkshire. Now today what I thought I'd do is talk to you a little bit about strategy and planning within your business. Now the reason I'm doing this simply because it's really important to have a strategy and a plan in a business, and I'm going to show you mine, so to speak. But why should you listen to me? Well, I'll tell you what. One is the strategy and planning process I'm going to show you is something I've used for 30 odd years, and it allowed me to succeed in a big organisation as well as succeed since then in business. Two, it's very simple, and three, it's going to be very quick. We're only going to be a few minutes here today. So before we start, just a quick word about strategies. People get all hung up about what's a strategy and how do I formulate a strategy and what's a strategy, what's the difference between a strategy and a plan and an action plan and actions. Well, actually the reality is, and I was told this years ago, my opinion is a strategy is just basically it's a long-term plan. It's a plan with bigger aspirations. You know, a strategy might be over 1 to 3 to 5 years, whereas a plan might be for the next month or the next week. And actions are what you do on a daily basis. But let me show you the process we go through and how we plan. Now we do this process around about 6 months period, but I'm just going to show you this one. This is from last year, about March time last year. This has been reviewed in October, but I'll show you how we do it. We do it using wallpaper, and basically this is how we start a plan. And please stick with me because it gets distilled down into some very fine detail as we go on. So we get a piece of wallpaper. This is it behind me. As you can see, it's bigger than the room. But we stick that on the dining room table, and we start off by saying, right, what was in the last plan, the last strategy, what was it we were trying to achieve? And you'll see at this end here, you can't, I don't know if you can read it, but basically it's a quick review of what we wanted to achieve and what we actually want. Incidentally, I did tell my guitar teacher that one day my guitar would have a useful purpose in my hands, and it has done, because we can clip the process to it. But anyway, we start off very much dreams and aspirations. What is it we've tried to achieve so far, and what it is we really want to achieve? And you can see it's very abstract. It's very abstract. You see here that's one of the things that me and Sue really want to do is we want to tour America in a camper van. Okay, it's a simple thing, but it goes on. It's obviously easier for us because we're man and wife and we're business partners. That starts to distill down, and actually if we want that lifestyle, what do we actually have to achieve? And then this starts to distill down even further into what are the priorities, what do we really need to push in the business, and what's the business strategy going to be? And then that distills down. Are you still with me? Because it's very big. Can you still see me? It starts to distill down till it comes to this end with really some very key actions about what we want to do. Now, for those of you whose brain works on colours, patterns, numbers and shapes, you'll love that. For those of you whose brain works on lists and numbers and spreadsheets, it doesn't work for you. And of course, this is very haphazard and higgledy-piggledy. So what we then do is we create this. This is a summary of what we've talked about there, ending up with, I think on this one, 4 or 5 very specific actions. So we've got a written summary of what we've done there. We then take that, and that summary I create pictograms of, because it's easy for me to look at a pictogram and remember it. This there's about 5 or 6 here, but this particular one goes on my screensaver on my phone, so that I'm constantly thinking about what are the key aspects of the strategy, which is raising finance, balancing the business, ALMOP, which is arm's length management of property, building new properties, and one big aspiration is to build an eco house, which we've not got to yet. But anyway, that's another story. Those very specific actions then go on to the weekly minutes. These are the minutes of the weekly meeting, and the top section is all about this distillation program, and it's all about what's on the top of those minutes. Very specific around the strategy. This means we've got a constant review of this process. This means that we're constantly looking at what we said we were going to do on a weekly basis, and we're able to say, right, that strategy that we've got for this next 6 months or 12 months, now then, what is the weekly action that we need to do there? Those weekly actions are recorded in the minutes of the weekly meeting, and then those then distill down even further into very specific actions. So just to abstract this, really sort of extrapolate this one out, over here we might have that we want to go to America and tour America in a camper van, and right down here on the minutes of the meeting we might have an action that says go and do some networking, and the two are directly related, because if we want to do that we've got to achieve the other. So it's a distillation process. It needs to be kept really simple. It's got to be flexible because it's yours, and things happen in life that change how things work. This works for us. If you want a copy or if you want to talk about it, send me a message. But this definitely works, and I've used it for 30 odd years. And as long as you build it into that review process, you'll never go wrong. If you like this, if you're interested, well, I've got some ideas about. I really want to talk specifically about some decision-making models, and also to take this idea of developing a strategy and how you implement it a little bit further. So hopefully I'll be doing some more videos over the next week or so. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. I think the weekend's going to be better, the weather, so let's look forward to that. All the best. Take care.